You know, after the whole Starfield Spider-Man thing this year, I kind of thought the console war had peaked. Like, I was fully prepared to have to start making different kinds of content other than Twittered fanboy salt for a while, but it's okay now, because Modern Warfare 3 got everything back on track from both ends, so Twitter salt is very much still on the menu, even if the menu was printed somewhere really bad at printing logical menus. Over the last few days, I've been watching PlayStation Twitter absolutely collapse and foam at the mouth over the fact that Modern Warfare 3's launch has been going almost comically poorly, which anyone could have seen coming, because just about every Call of Duty launch the last 5 years has gone somewhat poorly, and since Modern Warfare 3 is literally just an expansion pack with extra steps, it shouldn't have even been a little bit surprising that this launch has gone even worse than other Call of Duties. In my last Modern Warfare 3 Salt video, we went over the hilarity of the trophies and achievements being listed as DLC for MW2 because someone over at Sledgehammer forgot to make it a standalone game because, you know, it's literally DLC for MW2 being sold at full price. And since then, the early campaign access has resulted in a nice juicy 4 out of 10 from IGN and a nice fat everyone disliked that from the COD community. I'm yet to see a single person say this campaign was good, so like, it doesn't really bode well for the full game launch later this week. But just as predicted, the closer we get to the full game launch, the more people jump on the dumbest console war of the year, and as is per the usual with console wars, I gotta give the PlayStation guys a shout out for consistently having the worst takes imaginable no matter the context. So guess what? We're gonna go through another 8 or 9 minutes of the flippin' dumbest Modern Warfare 3 console war takes because the faucet continues to floweth, so god damn it, use code JOE for 10% off a new mousepad at 4D Gaming and let's get into the stupid together. Nick Tech says, I'm wondering where are all those guys that were bashing Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for being too short for a $70 game are right now. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is 17 to 18 hours long, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is 6 to 7 hours long. Oh my god. Spider-Man is a single-player game. It's a single-player, story-driven game. Call of Duty is a collection of single-player campaign, a co-op PvE mode that you're meant to grind for 1,000,000 hours, and oh yeah, the fucking PvP that people literally put thousands of hours into year after year. I get that you guys are probably desperate to use the latest PS5 exclusive as a dunking point, but if you're genuinely trying to argue that Call of Duty has less playtime than Spider-Man 2, if you're genuinely trying to use that argument, you are severely misunderstanding the kind of people who buy Call of Duty every fucking year. The Modern Warfare 3 campaign is short as fuck and fucking terrible, yeah, but genuinely, when has a short as fuck and fucking terrible campaign ever stopped people from buying these games and putting hundreds of hours into them? And there's also a bit of irony in a PlayStation guy trying to use this argument because the PlayStation guys are the people playing COD way more than everyone else every single year. And you can't now act like PlayStation dudes would totally take issue with the Modern Warfare 3 campaign being what it is if it wasn't owned by Microsoft. Because we all know the PlayStation guys wouldn't have given a shit, just like how we all know that the PlayStation is still going to be the biggest platform for Modern Warfare 3. So have fun trying to defend this take during this year's COD cycle. Tiger says, the first thing Microsoft Xbox did after acquired Activision Blizzard is selling Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for $70. Modern Warfare 3, 3 hours long, $70. It's actually DLC list for Modern Warfare 2. Ada Wong Resident Evil 4 DLC, 5 hours long, $10. I just love this idea that somehow Microsoft is responsible for the game that was in development at an entirely different company before they took control of the company. Like, Microsoft only completed the purchase of Activision like a week after the first multiplayer beta for this game. They literally were not involved with this game at all. The game was 3 hours long before they took over. The game was $70 before they took over, and the game was a DLC for Modern Warfare 2 before they took over. Now, could Phil Spencer have just come in with the sledgehammer and canceled the whole thing or delayed the whole thing with less than a month before launch? Could Phil Spencer have done that? No, he literally could not have, because the launch cycle had already begun, hence the multiplayer beta and commercials and branded consoles, not to mention all the contracts Activision signed regarding the game prior to Microsoft taking over. Like, it's debatable whether or not Microsoft could have done anything about Modern Warfare 3, even if they wanted to. Again, they only took over Activision on October 13th. Modern Warfare 3 started its launch cycle with the early campaign access on November 2nd. That is less than 3 fucking weeks. Truly, what do you think Microsoft could have actually done in this situation? Hyped says 3 hours DLC for $70 is the first thing we get after Microsoft closed its Activision deal. Don't see many Xbox fanboys calling it out, sadly. Yeah, you don't see many Xbox people calling it out because maybe the game is just fucking garbage and everyone is calling it out. People aren't going to be like, man, the new Call of Duty campaign sure is shit, and also, by the way, I play on Xbox. No, they're just gonna say, man, the new Call of Duty campaign sure is shit, because it's a shitty game that sucks and it's shit. Like, believe it or not, when a game is just bad, people are just gonna talk about how bad it is. They're not going to sign every tweet with, by the way, I played it on Xbox. But, of course, that doesn't mean there aren't people obsessed with green X's trying to sway the public here, despite, again, Xbox having nothing to do with this game's creation or design, such as Snap Blast Play. You knew he'd be back. He says, so Simon Cardy from IGN scored a first-party Xbox game for the first time. 4 out of 10 Modern Warfare 3, compared to 6 out of 10 Destruction All-Stars, 9 out of 10 Horizon Forbidden West, 10 out of 10 God of War Ragnarok. Xbox tax in full effect. Yes, thank you for pointing out that the IGN reviewer didn't like the game. Do you have any actual counter to this other than just pointing at the fact that there was an Xbox logo on it? No? You just put the scores on screen and were like, look, this one's lower. Because obviously, the only reason for this game getting a lower score than the other games, the only reason that could possibly be happening is the Xbox tax. Yeah, no. Yes, sure. You fucking goofball. You are so fucking goofy. J-Dub says, definitely something that only Microsoft could screw up. With a screenshot of a PC Gamer article, it says, worst fear confirmed, you can't launch Modern Warfare 3 without first launching Modern Warfare 2. Again, you seriously think Microsoft had anything to do with this? You seriously think Microsoft went into the game files of Modern Warfare 3 and made it read as DLC across all platforms just because? Or do you think this was just a design oversight during development that was made very early on in development because if someone forgot to switch the game from a DLC to a full-fledged title on the back end, that's because it started as a DLC. So wouldn't it be reasonable to assume this was a mistake that was made way before Microsoft bought Activision less than 3 weeks ago? Wouldn't you agree that's a logical explanation for this? At Senin Sage says IGN gave Redfall a 4 and Modern Warfare 3 a 4, but gave Quantum Error a 5. Are people waking up yet? We all already know there's like zero chance Quantum Error is a better game than either Redfall or Modern Warfare 3, don't we? Of course we do. Are we really getting stingy over 1 point? Like, really? If they gave Modern Warfare 3 a 5, would you be happy about it? Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. A 5 is still a shit score. Getting your panties in a wad because IGN gave a different game a slightly less shit score than Modern Warfare 3 is fucking weird. And also, the Modern Warfare 3 4 out of 10 is just for the campaign, nothing else. So have you ever considered the fact that when only looking at the Modern Warfare 3 campaign and nothing else about the game as a whole, it's actually entirely possible that it is worse than Quantum Error through the eyes of some? Like, is that really that unbelievable, given the kinds of things people have been saying about the Modern Warfare 3 campaign? Like, is it really so unbelievable that maybe this game genuinely deserved a 4 out of 10 for its campaign? The people taking issue with the 4 don't really seem to have an argument other than the fact that, oh, it's because Xbox bought it. But like, maybe it's just because it was shit? Speaking of people not understanding that the game just might be shit, let's close things out with the Red Dragon, who recently made this his fucking pinned tweet. Welcome to Xbox. IGN gives Modern Warfare 3 a review score of 4. Yes, 4 out of 10. Call of Duty, poop emoji. Microsoft and Phil sure know how to pick them. Gonna fit in great and already meeting Game Pass quality expectations. I just love this idea that not only is Xbox somehow responsible for MW3's quality in any capacity, but also somehow we're supposed to believe PlayStation guys would be having this same reaction to it and this same kind of vitriol against the reviews. if Microsoft hadn't bought Activision. Call of Duty campaigns have been so fucking mediocre in the past, and whenever they were, we were always told the campaign didn't matter and nobody plays the game for the campaign anyways. And those shit campaigns were still getting like 7s and 8s from most outlets, and the entire internet would meme on them for it. Like, do you not remember all those Call of Duty games that would get an 8 or a 9 out of 10 from IGN, and everyone would mock them for like 3 months about it? But now that major outlets are actually giving CODs the numbers that COD players have been giving them for fucking ever, all of a sudden this kind of laziness from Activision and the Call of Duty IP, it's a brand new thing, and Xbox is totally to blame because they started signing the checks less than 3 weeks ago. Somehow that makes them completely responsible for all of this, and completely absolves the PlayStation community of the fact that they've been eating this franchise up way more than any platform has, as well as the fact that there are over 1 million PlayStation owners who literally play Call of Duty and nothing else despite the scores. So don't try to act now like Call of Duty number scores have anything to do with whether or not people play them, or has anything to do with Xbox taking ownership like 2.5 weeks ago. Like, you're genuinely telling me that if Xbox weren't signing the checks, PlayStation guys would actually give a shit about this IGN score, and you're so confident in this take that you made it your pinned tweet? Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. Fuck. Modern Warfare 3 might end up being the gift that just keeps giving for console war salt historians like myself, because we already know that every time a new update comes out for MW3, new glitch is discovered. Like, every console warrior is going to use it as ammo for one side or the other, even though they're talking about a game that was made entirely under a third-party developer and third-party publisher, and all of the shitty things about this game were made shitty before any kind of deal was signed. And the game is multi-platform, so genuinely, who gives a fucking piss about this? The MW3 console war is truly the dumbest console war of the year. Starfield was the saltiest, but MW3 is the dumbest. So naturally, I'm gonna keep documenting this. Toodles.